as we talk about this cancel culture and whether or not we really do want people to change. Because even as people of faith, sometimes when change starts to occur in someone we know or love, we tend to reject it. Sometimes we like the old version of that person who is maybe less prudish, as we might say, or was a little more willing to just be down with anything that I may have wanted to do. Or maybe we feel left behind. It's interesting, the comedian and actress Sarah Silverman on her podcast recently actually slammed the cancel culture and talked about how the culture can lead people to find a sense of belonging, essentially, in groups that stand for unhealthy ideologies. This is nothing new. We've known this for years. So often people will join a gang and even participate in initiation rites, all for what? For the sake of belonging, feeling loved. Is it any surprise that other groups attract people as well? In fact, Sarah Silverman has a dear friend who was a neo-Nazi, Christian Picciolini. He fell in with these people from a very early age, and she said, Silverman commented on how the people that discouraged Picciolini against drugs also were the same group of people who made him feel like he belonged and invited him into this neo-Nazi group that offered him a sense of belonging that he had been so desperately looking for. It's fascinating because, as she says, the group, quote, gave him a place where he was accepted, cared for, and loved. And unfortunately, she talks about how it was a hate group, a neo-Nazi group, but that's where he found family. That's where she said he found camaraderie, and a place where both his parents had been working all day and weren't involved in his life. But so often, people will join, as I mentioned before, a gang for a sense of belonging. They'll participate in a hazing for a sorority as part of their initiation for a sense of belonging. Many people end up joining faithful and brave men, the Marines, because in part they love that Marine family or other branches of military. This is even seen in cases where at times maybe you feel like an outcast. You join the drama club, a specific sport that makes you feel welcomed and encouraged, or other various ideologies where you just wanted to be accepted. In listening to Sarah Silverman, she comments on the cancel culture, and I want you to listen to this clip of something she says about being accepted.
I always think, like, in this cancel culture, and we all know what I'm talking about, whether you think there is one or there isn't one, or where you stand on it, and there's a lot of gray matter there. But without a path to redemption, when you take someone, you found a tweet they wrote 7 years ago or a thing that they said, and you expose it and you say, this person should be no more, banish them forever. They're going to find some place where they are accepted.
She has a couple really good points here. If you banish people, you throw people out, they're going to find somewhere else where they think they belong. But not only that, what about a path to redemption? She makes another comment, and that was Sarah Silverman, the comedian and actress, where she said, do we want people to be changed, or do we want them to stay the same? To freeze in a moment we found on the internet from 12 years ago. We've seen various celebrities, non-celebrities, heck, maybe it's even happened to you, where someone dug up something from your past. Perhaps it was a social media post, a record, I don't know. But then suddenly people want to kind of throw you out because of that. It's a reminder of how much we hate what is different. This is where we could even talk a little bit sometimes about different communities, different ethnic groups, and how we can be more critical of others. But I think even on a bigger scale, we have this attitude of we hate what is different. And unless we're part of that change and success that includes us, if we aren't included, well then we just tend to tear it down. And we like to stay in our own little camps. This points to the importance of confession. reconciliation with God, the community, and ourselves, having hope, being reintegrated into the community after any type of brokenness we may have experienced. And then that paves the way for growth. This is where this cancel culture goes radically against what the Catholic Church teaches. The message of Christ in forgiveness, in redemptive suffering. It's important for us to remember this as the next person is canceled, whether in your private life, perhaps even yourself, or just another celebrity that we see who's being thrown out, but the question is, whose arms will that person run to?